Jordan Peterson is desperately trying to save the left, and they just don't get it. It's almost as if they refuse to get it, and as if they're just insisting on him being on some sort of a crusade against them, which is actually not. Quite the contrary. So this is video is inspired by the recent monk debates, if you can even call it a debate. It was more sort of four people talking about four different things half of the time, or two groups talking about two different things. But yeah, it went totally off the topic of political correctness and more into a we are right, you are wrong on certain political details, and this just on top of this reality on top of every other hippies out there that is just a constant of misrepresenting his arguments and everything. It's just not helping. There are a lot of people who are like Stephen Fry, soft lefties or moderate lefties or centrists who just quite frankly feel disenfranchised and just can't relate and or associate themselves with the group known as the modern mainstream left, if you will. And yeah, that is a problem. And he posed a question in the debate about that. Where do you draw the distinction? Where do you draw the line between the radical left and the moderate left? And that question went unanswered all throughout. And yeah, it's very unfortunate, to say the least. And yeah, aside from ranting about this, I'll probably throw a whole bunch of where's my finger? That's this whole bunch of links in the description to various things to this debate, or more of a you know, I don't know what to call it. This is a good initiative. The monk debates, a really really worthy initiative. But I think this one, it just it went not just off topic but off argument a lot of times, and it was just tragic to see it. But at least the conflict between logic and sophistry was in full display all throughout it. And and this was a good lesson. It was a really a remarkable bit of education on verbal application, if you will, usage of words to spin things around and everything. It's just yeah, just look at it for yourselves. But the thing is that there's a problem with political ideology in general and every stance. I mean, I as a libertarian, I have to accept certain very hard facts that do challenge my positions and challenge the libertarian canon, and we have to adapt to that as well, just as much as the left and the right and everybody. For example, the Pareto distribution. It's really hard to be intellectually honest and try and say that that is not a law, and that is a challenge. Yeah, as a libertarian, yeah, I have to stop and think: do I know what to do with that fact? And a handful of others. There are challenges. The world isn't as black and white. Now, a lot of things with the emergence of high tech have certainly made it very easy for the libertarian case, and other things have made it more difficult. Heightened tension in the world has made it more difficult. That is also an empirical reality that we have to deal with. Not everybody's just going to be able to jump borders everywhere and just automatically from day one just go walk into any society and magically just assimilate or blend in and just be super functional and happy and productive and no other issues. That's just not going to happen. So this whole idea of elevating the global utility by way of just free flow of labor force, yeah, it is challenged. It is very much challenged by empirical reality, and that is something that I have to accept. And look at, okay, so how can I coexist with that reality rather than just jump into my ideological trenches, if you will, and just keep circle jerking and fighting, um, as if I'm just trying to, well, whatever, push the push the barrier that is in front of me. That's obviously going to run me over, and it's just there are so many facts that the left needs to understand as well. I mean, okay, you know, just to give them the fair bit, the fact that you have such a strong opposition against you, even though you keep clinging on to we're right on everything, the fact that you have such a strong opposition against you and it's not budging, at least address that reality. And if your only solution or strategy to address that reality is well, if they don't agree with us, they're obviously evil. You know, it's just it's not going to fly anymore. And this is also why, if you look at all these hit pieces, media is just adding the final nail in its coffin. Now, yeah, you know, when big media was going after Donald Trump, it's, you know, those character assassinations. It's a little easier for them because he uses strong language and he makes no excuses for it. So yeah, he knows what he's inviting when he does that. So yeah, that's one thing. But when you have someone who's as soft spoken in a way, and yeah, it is he's very soft spoken for a public speaker of this size, Jordan Peterson. When you have someone like that and you try and paint and masquerade him as the root of all evil, etc., it's just that's when you lose. That's when you really kill yourself, because then just people look at that and it's like they, even though they might not agree and might find some of his ideas, there are people who actually find some of his ideas just outdated, etc., etc. No matter how he will justify and argue his case, they will still say, well, you know, there'll still be progressives, if you will, but they will, in spite of that, they won't accept this notion that's being pushed that he's the root of all evil, and thus they will still lose faith in the media, even though the media is pushing an agenda and a stance that they would agree with, if you will. And that is what is causing a serious headache that hasn't yet fully unfolded, but will. So this is just going to further push media and a large chunk of the political establishment and institutional establishment away from the public. You can either say, well, that is an okay trajectory. That's progress to us, or you can say, well, that is an issue, and maybe we need to address that. Because I just don't think it's going to end well, boss. And that's the thing. So yeah, just figured I'd toss this message out to you guys and just encourage people to humble themselves to facts that are, you know, becoming harder and harder to refute. If they go, you know, against your ideological stance or your values or anything you believe in, just humble yourself to it. Just you know, yeah, it might not just say that. It might not mean that everything you stand for is just bunk, but at least accept the fact that you're being challenged. And I gave you a few examples of how I'm being challenged. Does that would that bunk my entire case? No. But I'm being challenged and I need to accept and own that and coexist with that fact. And coexist with the fact that there are actual empirical factual realities out there that I don't know what to do with and don't know how to deal with, and that I need to find ways to address that. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. It's a part of growing up, you guys. It really is. And I think that has been said quite a lot lately, and quite frankly, can't be stressed enough. So check out the sources and links that I give you below. Yeah, you make up your own mind. I'm not here to dictate to anyone's mind. I'm just gonna be a part of a vivid, commonsensical, humble conversation, if you will. And even as far as that, you guys are my critics. So whether I'm doing well or not at that, you be the judges on me too. Free to trash me in the comment section anytime. That is absolutely your right to freedom of speech. At any rate, that's it for now. Viking up.